What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to DSM Pre-Game Live. It's week 2 here in the NFL, and we have the Eagles visiting Arrowhead and the Kansas City Chiefs in a Super Bowl rematch. Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. What will be the biggest difference makers in today's games? We're going to get into the keys to victory for our birds today, our standout stars on both sides of the ball, as well as our best and favorite bets for this game and game predictions at the end, guys. Make sure to check us out on Twitter first and foremost. At DSM_media is where you can always find us. Hit that follow button and then check out the link tree in our bio. It will take you to every social media platform we are available on. If you want to be interactive throughout the live stream, make sure to check out the YouTube link specifically. Like you see on the screen right here, it is the best and only spot to get your thoughts, comments, and questions pulled up with us. I'm one half of your host, Dylan Davis. To my right, my faithful co-host, Scotty. Tap in, go Birds, and let's have ourselves an afternoon. My man, what's going on?
What is good? Happy Eagles game day. I'm starting off with the juices early here. Obviously, our game's not until 4:25, but we're getting started now. I'm obviously ecstatic for this matchup. I think to have this matchup early on in the season is awesome. I view it similar to playing the Cowboys early. Like, I'm glad we get to play each other when we're both fairly healthy. I know that the Chiefs have a little bit of injuries going on right now, some suspensions, but I'm just excited to get to this early. And these are two teams in two big spots. So it's going to be interesting to see what type of animosity or energy these two teams come out and play with today. One looking at maybe revenge from last season. Maybe we're looking at revenge from, 2-3 seasons ago. So I don't think revenge is a factor here. No. I think this is going to come down to who performs better today and ultimately who is the better team today. So I can't wait to get into it with you, but Go Birds. Yeah, I know. Let's start with that.
Go Birds. It's a huge game. It's an exciting game. But it's a bigger game for Kansas City. And we talked about this on the Faithful Fanatic show on Wednesday. I think it's a good place to kind of start the pregame and pick up where we left off. On paper, roster-wise, talent-wise, the last time we saw these two teams line that shit up, like Martian would say, leans the Eagles. Yeah. The only way you look at this from a Kansas City standpoint is say they need it more. Backs are against the wall. Patrick Mahomes is 21-4 in his career coming off of a loss. The Chiefs in this era have not lost 3 straight games, meaning they lost the Super Bowl last year to end the year. They lost week 1 to the Chargers. Will they lose today? That's the only thing. It's they need it more. They never start 0-2. It's Mahomes, it's Reid, blah, blah, blah. Guess what, Scotty? I don't really give a damn. I'm looking at this Kansas City Chiefs team, dare I say, losing its aura? It's very early. I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want to do that just yet. I know I'm not the first person to have brought that conversation up this week. However, I'm looking at a team with no Rashee Rice. He's suspended. I'm looking at a team, I believe, I haven't been on Twitter much this morning. We've been doing the show. I believe with no Xavier Worthy. Yes, he is out today. I'm looking at a team with almost a 40-year-old tight end who just doesn't really seem to be active. I know he scored the tutty last week down the sideline. He got open on kind of like a wheel route, whatever. He's just not the same guy that we're accustomed to Travis Kelce being in this offense. I'm looking at a defense that got torched in the Super Bowl, and they got torched by Justin Herbert in week 1. I mean, the Chargers threw the ball all over the field against this Chiefs defense. I'm looking at a team that just doesn't quite strike fear in you anymore. Yeah. And on the other side of the thing, on the other sideline, I have a team that will wear you down, that will bully you, that will dominate you in the trenches. Yeah. That will take the ball in the fourth quarter in a one-possession game and chew up 10 minutes off of a clock to close out a game because you can't stop what they do best. This right here is the better team today, and this is the team, and we'll get into the reasons why, that will come out with a victory. Spoiler alert, I'm going with the Birds today.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I'll throw in there just to get the show started, and then we can go ahead and jump right into keys of victory, but when you look at QB1 of the Philadelphia Eagles and his experiences against this Kansas City Chiefs team, He's had a fair amount of success against them. Let's just be honest about it. Like, yes, you have the Super Bowl loss. You have a Super Bowl win to match it at this point.
I think you're being kind about it.
Yeah, fair enough, because he balled out in the Super Bowl loss as well. And then you take it back to what was that? The regular season before last, where we played them in the regular season in Kansas City.
Yep,
Jalen Hurts actually had 2 turnovers in that game, so probably the worst he's played against Kansas City during his time as the Eagles starting quarterback. And they still won that game in Kansas City. They won it in ugly fashion. So they have beaten Kansas City in different ways.
Yep.
So I don't think that, to your point, that aura, that stigma is coming into this game with the Chiefs. I don't think that the Eagles are scared of them, quite frankly. I don't think that they're scared of Patrick Mahomes. And all that being said, it's not to say that they shouldn't be scared of Patrick Mahomes. They just operate with the level of confidence. They know what they have on their roster, and they know what they can do as a unit. And I'm just excited. You mentioned it earlier, what Martian Lynch 33 says in the comments all the time. Line that shit up, brother. Because those guys were over there. They were so frustrated playing the Chargers last weekend. They're out there arguing between their defensive captains and shit. You had Travis Kelce getting on offensive linemen. You had Travis Kelce knocking out his own teammate out of the game. So all this to be said, I'm not sleeping on the Chiefs. I'm just very confident in my Philadelphia Eagles Birds team. Let's get into keys of victory, my man.
I agree, and there's a reason why Martian has a very confident feeling, kind of like some people that I talked to before the Super Bowl had, and obviously it was just the nerves in me. People were like, I think we're going to blow them out. Like, man, nah, like it's the Super, like, nah. And then that's what happened. He's felt the same way about the Crawford fight last night. I wish you would have hit me up because
I wish we had Martian's number.
Wish you would have told me you were confident last night, Martian, because I went the wrong way. Let me tell you why you're so confident, Scotty. Jalen Hurts in his career against Mahomes and the Chiefs. Team points per game, 31.5. Team's yards per game, 320 yards per game for the Birds. His touchdown to interception ratio is 11-2, and his passer rating is over 100. In his career against the Kansas City Chiefs, I believe it's 4 games. We're 2-2, I believe, as of right now. I remember his first year, we lost to them at home in like week 3 or something. We lost in the Super Bowl. In 2023, we beat them in Arrowhead on Monday Night Football, and then we beat them in the Super Bowl. And Jalen Hurts has just about balled out, at least the last 3 games. His first season, a little bit of a blur. I don't really remember too much about that game. I believe it was following the week we played San Fran, and we lost to them in week 2 or something. But Jalen Hurts, dare I say, owns Steve Spagnuolo. And I think that's where we can get into this game, man. If you're looking from an offensive standpoint today, what do you do, Scott? What do you do if you're the Eagles, right? Obviously, you try to do what you do best. You try to do what you did to start the Super Bowl. You do what you did last week, even though Dallas had some success against it. You run the football. You have 26 back there. He didn't go off for anything last week. Some might say he's due, Scotty. He hasn't gotten pause. I can't say what I was about to say. He hasn't gotten going since the NFC Championship game. It's been a while since we've seen a big Saquon Barkley run. Yeah. I think you get quite a few today, but that's not the point. Even if Kansas City has success against the rushing attack of Saquon Barkley, Jalen's legs will be a factor. A.J. Brown will be a factor. Colin Cowherd, we're gonna trade A.J. Brown. He didn't touch the ball. A.J. Brown will be a factor. Devontae Smith will be a factor. I don't care that Dallas Goedert's not playing. I think the Eagles will sling the ball all over Arrowhead today.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And that is the first key to victory that I have written down here. I think the passing game will have to get going today, and I think they will get going today. As you've mentioned, Jalen Hurts has a lot of confidence going against Steve Spagnuolo led defense. And I think just coming out of last week, it's the same old shit, man. These same old narratives that are being thrown around as if like national media and opposing fan bases haven't learned that these boys, they are fueled by the shit that y'all talk about them, and they do see all of it, man. Yeah. And I'm just telling you now, I'll throw it out there now. AJ Brown's my offensive player of the game. I think he's going to go the fuck off today. I think AJ Brown is going to go the fuck off today. I wore the jersey for a reason. I'm not saying Smitty's not going to have a game. I think the passing game has a day today. The one caveat I'll throw to that key to victory is, do the Chiefs approach it the same way as they did in the Super Bowl? Do they come out with Saquon as the focal point of the offense, or do they come out
like
with Jalen Hurts as the focal point, and maybe they're willing to let Saquon get off a little bit? Damn, I said it. Maybe they're willing to let Saquon cook a little bit if that means they're not getting killed through the air. I'm interested to see how they approach it, because if I was them, I wouldn't go in with the same approach after giving up.
And that, my friend, is why they are the defending Super Bowl champions. It's why they're the best team in football. It's why they're the most dangerous team in football. It's why people are scared of them now, not the Kansas City Chiefs. Pick your poison. Seriously, if Saquon Barkley is going to be the focal point for you again, and you limit him and you stuff the running backs today, you didn't quite learn your lesson on the biggest stage, right? However, if you want to think you learned your lesson and try to take things away over the middle of the field or on the outside and take away the passing game like Dallas attempted to do, you might get gashed for 150 yards from 26 today.
Yeah.
Pick your poison. That's why they're the best team in football. That's why they're the most dangerous team in football, bro. But I agree. I love the A.J. Brown pick. Dare I say I agree with you. I know we don't normally give out the same standout stars.
So obvious.
We know, like you said that they hear everything. You know Nick likes to prove a point.
Yeah.
We remember hearing question marks after the Carolina game and Jalen hooking up with AJ in the end zone on like the first or second drive and them doing the dance and sharing a smile. You know Jalen likes to prove a point. You know AJ Brown wants the football. I promise you, 11 touches the ball early and often in this game. Bro, Kevin Patullo, run a slant. Just get the man the ball within 5 yards and you let him use his body and his frame. Like, come on, just run a quick slant. Do something to get him the ball. But yeah, I do agree. I think AJ Brown has a day today, man. If I'm being honest, I think the Eagles offense as a whole has a goddamn day today.
Yeah, I kind of feel that as well, man. You had that break in last week's game on Thursday Night Football, right? And you had that weather break, that weather delay, and I think that just kind of messed up the whole flow of the game. I think the Eagles would have put up 30-plus points against that Cowboys defense if they didn't run into that weather delay. They had just got a momentum-swinging fumble recovery right before the game goes to a pause. I think they score on that drive right there and extend the lead a bit, but no room for hypotheticals. I'm not a Justin Herbert fan. At the end of the day, one other key to victory, it kind of involves the offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo. When you look at Jalen, and I wrote down like Jalen don't force it. It's not an indictment on Jalen, though. I'm just saying that he's not going to have to force it to A.J. Brown and Smitty today. You can scheme it to A.J. Brown and Smitty.
Correct.
And that's what I want the offensive coordinator to do today. We don't need to pressure Jalen to target A.J. Brown down the field all the time. We need to scheme A.J. Brown into the game early. Get the ball in his hands, get him touches, get him in a rhythm. Goes for Smitty as well. No Goddard today, by the way. These guys are going to have to be more involved today. Maybe it makes room for Jahan Dotson to be involved.
I was going to say, dare I say Jahan Dotson?
Man.
I'm looking at the betting board right now on DraftKings, man, and I mean it's higher than what they had him at last week, but 15 plus receiving yards for Dotson is plus 106 today. His yards last week were over under 6.5. You mentioned no Dallas Goedert at the middle of the field. It's an area that they're going to need Jahan Dotson in this passing game to get going. Great point, Martian. Obviously, it's a guy that, they didn't use a bunch of last week, but John Mechie getting acclimated. I'm interested. Is Tank Bigsby suiting up, I would assume? I know Zadarius Smith's full go, but I haven't really heard anything about Tank Bigsby. But he got traded early enough in like the beginning of the week. It was like Monday, wasn't it?
Because Shipley is out. So you're going to need another running back. Now, you could bring one up from the practice squad, but I would
and you have A.J. Dillon still, so you do have Barkley and Dillon, but I'm interested to see if Tank Bigsby gets in the game and gets acclimated today a little bit, which I'm extremely excited for. But, we mentioned, great point, by the way. We mentioned, our offensive player of the game. Let's look at defensively, bro, because this is – I don't know. I really am not trying to undersell the greatness of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid at all.
I feel that.
But this, on paper, is the perfect get right spot for the weaknesses of this defense. We're all so worried about CB2. We're concerned about safety a little bit. Hollywood Brown is wide receiver 1, and then I'm not really sure where they go after that. Is Juju Smith-Schuster still rostered on this team? I'm not positive. I probably could have looked
He
at
is. Yeah, he is. I saw him last week. Yeah.
Juju and Hollywood Brown and whatever scraps they have following them. That's who. This is a game where, I mean, listen, Adoree Jackson, if you can't play well today, you can just see yourself to the bench, my friend.
That's facts.
They do not have a threat on the outside that should be burning you up and down the field.
This man, Martian, this horrible joke. But Ty Robinson, I would like to see, just scratch your head, man. That one's a horrible. But Ty Robinson, I would love to see him rostered up today. To your point, man, there's a big guy back today for that Eagles defense. He might have a chip on his shoulder. I know he was out there spitting on motherfuckers last week, but I think that boy is going to be fueled up this evening. And I think Jalen Carter is going to be in full-on game record mode, man. Hey, I'll throw it to you. That's my defensive player of the game. He made a mistake. Don't get me wrong. It was idiotic. It cost us in that game. Not a loss, but it did cost us. Defense did not look good in the first half. Let me just put that out there. But I think Jalen Carter comes back today and just makes, obviously, a hell of an impact because he's that type of player, man. But he's going to have a little bit of extra fuel on him today. Yeah. So, Jalen Carter. Game
I like it. I mean, look, you attempted it on Thursday night. Obviously, we didn't get to see him play a snap. He couldn't impact the game for you. I'm going to go to the linebacker room. I think it was the most impressive unit of this team last week. The way that Zach Bond and Jahad Campbell were able to just drop back in coverage and deflect passes and knock balls down the field was very impressive. I think Jahad Campbell gets after Patrick Mahomes today. I think he's a presence in the backfield. So that's my pick. If I had to give you a sleeper, a guy that stood out to me while watching the game but never got home, I believe going against his former team, number 0, Josh Uche makes an impact.
Yeah, he did play for the Chiefs. You're right. Yeah, he was great last week, to be clear. I think he was graded as their best edge rusher. Am I tripping on that? Yep. I believe I saw that on PFF. Yep. But yeah, no, great picks. I expect the defense to come out today and wreak a little bit of havoc. Now, that being said, Patrick Mahomes looked really good last week, to put that in the forefront. They lost, but he looked really good. Yeah. I think that's the point, though. He can look really good.
And it did not.
And they can still lose. Yeah. And I think that's the difference between this Chiefs team and previous Chiefs team. Patrick Mahomes could have an MVP for performance, and it still might not be enough. I don't see them running the football today at all. I know the Eagles got ran through in the first half against the Cowboys. You get Jalen Carter back, that defense is going to be working on full tilt. I don't think they're going to be able to get anything going with Pacheco. They weren't able to get anything going against the Chargers. Give Chargers credit. They have a good defense, but I think the Eagles do as well.
No, I agree, bro. With that said, look, we're kicking off around the National Football League. We don't want to keep you guys, and we know we want to get out there. So obviously, a huge game. I would love to stay longer with you guys, but let's get this to a best bet and predictions here.
Yes, sir.
I'm going with the Eagles. I think the offense has a day. I was on DraftKings while you were talking. There's a lot of areas I like. We got burned with Jalen passing yards last week. I do think he goes for 210, 220 plus today, so that is something I'm keeping an eye on. However, money line, always an option, especially when I'm picking them to win. Their team totals 23.5, Scotty. That's something I like a lot. 22.5 as an alt because, they win a game 23-20. You get to that 23-point mark, I like it. But 23.5 is also a very nice line that I'm keeping an eye on as the afternoon goes out.
No, I completely agree with all of those picks, man. I was looking at Jalen Hurts passing yards. When I looked at it, I think it was at 216.5, something like that. I think he will. I think the Chiefs defense will hone in on Saquon again, and I think he will have to pass the ball through the air. With that in mind, I got the jersey on. I said that he's going to make plays in this game. AJ Brown touchdown, man. It's just so obvious. Yeah. I think he could have one catch and it might be a touchdown today. Like, that's just the type of player he is. what the Eagles do. They have agendas sometimes, and I think this is one of those times. And he's fared well against the Chiefs, man. He's been able to get in the end zone against them. I think at both Super Bowls. Am I tripping on that?
Both. He had the deep ball in the first Super Bowl, and then he had the the crosser route in the last.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So yeah, I like AJ Brown to score today. I haven't even looked at the odds for it, but I'm sure they're juicy.
It's +1. Oh, that is one more I was going to throw out to you. When do you ever get Saquon Barkley at -135 to score a touchdown?
That is crazy. That is crazy.
And it's still -135. It's not like he's +100 or anything, but you never get Saquon. Like
never.
Saquon's like
-100,
-185.
Yeah. Never.
So, but I will say AJ Brown is +190 to score today, Scotty.
+190. Jalen -115 is always solid, man.
Yes.
There's always a good chance of him scoring. Do like the team total, man. And with my prediction, I'm gonna take the Eagles money line. Like, that's happening. I'm picking the Eagles to win this game, and I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. If they lose, I lose. I'm fine with losing with the Birds.
I go down with the ship.
That's how I live.
I go down with the ship.
Live and die with it. So
I'm looking forward to being the team that stopped the Chiefs from three-peating, and then being the team that gave the Chiefs their first wrong three-peat ever, and that is Patrick Mahomes losing 3 straight games in his career, and that goes down at 425 today. Guys, thank you so much for everyone that tuned in. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at DSM_media. Check out the YouTube. Subscribe. Please continue to help us grow. There's whispers behind closed doors here at DSM. We might be doing a giveaway of some sort jersey soon. So you're going to subscribe and comment to be entered for that. So that'll be coming over the next couple weeks. We'll get that out very, very soon. For myself, for Scotty, for DSM, have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Birds. And the Phillies have a chance to clinch the NFC.
We'll be back tomorrow.
The NL East today. I'm in football speak still. As they throw out the first pitch in about a half hour. So let's go.
We'll be back tomorrow,
for the Faithful Fanatic Show. Peace out.
Subscribe.